Welcome back to Venture Daily. I'm Josiah Simons.
I'm Jackson Fordyce.
We are here in Austin, Texas.
Yes.
A new location for us, but we will be back at Content Stack soon. But today we're at a friend's house here in beautiful Austin, Texas. The natural
look at the
light
green behind us.
is beautiful
We're
on
glowing.
our skin.
Yeah.
But you've clicked on this video, so you know what the topic is about. But I do not. Jackson has brought us today
my mind.
some beautiful, some great.
Insights.
I don't even know. I actually have no idea.
It's an opinion piece today.
Okay.
So my opinion is that Austin, Texas is for sure the fifth best startup city in America. It's surpassed Miami, Seattle, Washington, D.C., Chicago.
Not
Denver.
sixth, not fourth.
No,
fifth.
because it's always been in this conversation, like who is fifth? Because one's for sure SF.
I see.
Two's for sure New York City. Three is, for the most part, it's Los Angeles. And fourth is Boston. Those top four, they're for sure. Now, the fifth spot,
who's the up and coming? Who is the
data goes back and forth
breaking
for the
the top
last
five?
several years. It's either Austin or one of the other cities that I mentioned. But I'm here today to tell you that it's Austin, and there's some bias here.
Right.
Because
We live in Austin.
we live in Austin. I'm from Texas. But for the longest time, I've always said there's no world where Austin becomes a top five city. It's a cute town, but there's no drive here.
Right.
There's no
drive here.
I mean, if you look,
Speaking for all the people in Austin.
there's a viral picture a couple years ago of this is Austin Tuesday in the summer. It's everyone just at Barton. Like no one's working. It's like 1,000 people at Barton Springs.
It is a nice place to relax. It's a beautiful place. But yeah, we are biased. But in the same way that we're biased, we're also hopefully a little. We have ears on the ground.
Exactly.
We can kind of tell you what's really going on here in Austin.
Yeah, exactly. So there's always been a big conversation around, is it New York City? Is it San Francisco? Who is the number one startup city in America? And usually it goes to SF.
I think that like the people who live in New York, which is the greatest city in the world, we both
Without a shadow of a
think that.
doubt.
But I think the people who live in New York are kind of the only ones who are saying New York's on top.
Yeah.
I think everyone else understands the vast majority of great startups are coming out of San Francisco. The vast majority of VC money and capital is there.
Yeah.
So it's been Silicon Valley, and it's continued to be Silicon Valley.
And it will be Silicon Valley. And there's always this conversation like, is New York back? Is San Francisco back? Here's a Wall Street Journal article.
Sure.
Is San Francisco finally coming back? A new sign of commercial life appears downtown.
Okay.
And I want to make the argument that not only is Austin, has it been back,
Okay.
but it is staying 5, and it will eventually be 4, and then maybe even 3.
So you think the bottom is 5?
Yes.
Like this is
the
the worst it could be.
The worst it could be is 5.
Okay.
But there's an article in the Wall Street Journal recently. Austin's reign as a tech hub might be coming to an end.
Okay. This came out May 20th.
Yeah, this is pretty recent.
So somebody else had an opinion that is the opposite of yours.
Yes,
they're
there's
saying
opposite of mine.
if they're even top 5, they're not going to be.
No, and I think their opinion is anecdotally. Like you walk around Austin, it's just not the same. It's too hot. It's not a walkable city. It's not like SF or New York or these other startup hubs. But the data shows a little bit different. And so I'm going to get into most of our data today. It's going to be around Carta.
Oh, that's easy to read.
And so what I'm going to do, that's like it gets easier. I made it easier. So initially, this is startup information from 2018 to 2024. And we can
fundraising in U.S. metros, the top 10. Okay.
Yes. And so what we're going to do is we're going to focus on Austin right here. And so Austin is a diversified startup hub across many industries. So 2018, they were 7th. 2019, they were 8th. 2020 and 2021, they were both 7th, dropped down to 10th in 2022.
Had to drop off.
Went up to 5th in 23, and then from Q1 to Q3 in 2024, they were 7th.
7th, okay.
They've kind of sat around
so they've been between 5 and 10.
Yeah.
They have not really broken into the top 5 other than the one moment in 2023.
You can see some of the other cities that are around there in discussion. You see San Diego around the 5s, DC, Seattle, Miami a little bit. And those are kind of the cities that are in this conversation around who's 5th. And
shout out to Carta for this info.
Shout out Carta. Shout out Peter Walker. He's the guy he's the head of Insights.
I see his LinkedIn.
He's insane on LinkedIn.
Yes.
And so this is total money raised in 2024 alone, just the year of 2024. And so we see Austin 5th. It's kind of small, but I'll get to another image in a second.
$72.1 billion raised by U.S. startups in 2024.
Exactly. And so Austin is 3% of all capital raised in 2024. We were 6th in SaaS. We were nowhere on the board for biotech. We were 4th in hardware, which is interesting, but kind of fun. 10th in health tech, 9th in fintech, 10th in consumer. Nothing really to write home about. I'm going to go back to looking at the other cities because this is only Austin highlighted. If you go back, you can see right below Austin, you have Seattle, San Diego, Denver, and Austin has 3% of all cash raised. Seattle, San Diego, Denver are all pretty close to 2.8%.
Right.
It's a very close race.
Yeah, it's a close race for 5th.
Exactly. This is data coming out from the end of 2024 to the beginning of 2025. So this is the most recent data that Carta put out. This is pretty recent. Also from Peter Walker. Austin 5th. but you can see how now it's 4.8%.
Wow.
Of all capital raised. And look where we are with hardware.
So this is between Q2 of 2024,
Yes.
Q1 of 2025. So this is the most recent data. Austin.
Yes.
Wow.
Now we have jumped from 3% to 4.8%. And look at us in hardware now. We used to be fourth, behind Boston, behind Los Angeles. Now we are second. We stay sixth in SaaS. We were nowhere on the board in biotech. We were in the top 10. Now we're seventh. We were ninth in health tech. We're seventh.
Okay.
We've dropped off in fintech.
Fintech, we're gone.
We don't care that much anymore. And then consumer from 10th to 7th.
So many numbers flying in my face.
It's a lot of numbers flying in your face.
at
But
me,
what I'm trying to show here is that Austin, Texas has been growing a lot recently, way quicker than its counterparts of Seattle, San Diego, Denver. My main point here is that it was fifth in 2024, and it's still fifth now. But the number of where it is and how much it's raised in all capital has raised from 3% to 4.8%.
Right.
It is skyrocketed.
Closing the gap.
It is closing the gap
to
Boston, and it will close the gap. Second place right now in hardware, almost 20% of all capital raised is in Austin, Texas for hardware. It surpassed Boston. It jumped Los Angeles, which has El Segundo.
Yep.
So I think that's going to continue. That number is going to continue to increase.
I see. Okay, so the stats you're seeing on the right here are Q2 of 2024 through the first quarter of 2025.
Correct.
On the left is all of 2024. So they are closing the gap, Austin to Boston,
Yes.
in a significant way,
Yes.
just in the last 6 months.
And I predict that hardware is going to be the industry in Austin that's going to help it surpass Boston. It's
Okay.
going to continue to rise. So we have companies
Prove it.
like Base Power. Base is here in Austin, Texas. We've interviewed them before.
That's right. We went to the Base Power facility
Yes.
in downtown Austin, Texas. We also went to a customer of Base in Round Rock.
We did.
It was pretty sweet.
They just raised $200 million in further Series B funding. They have companies like Aalo Atomics, also in Austin, Texas.
Also an interview we've done.
Also an interview we've done. We're not biased, but they're great companies.
So check out, so as an aside, this is Venture Daily that you're on right now watching. We have a second channel called Demo Day where we do all these interviews, and they're long form. They're 45 minutes, an hour, interview with the founder. We go and check out their space. It's called Blueprint America is the show. But it's Demo Day on YouTube. Go check out that content if you're interested in Base Power or Aalo. I think they're some of the best content we've made.
Or
ACS coming out
Control Systems
soon.
Dropping very, very soon. Another company here in Austin, Texas raised a $20-something million Series A round. And
we did an interview with them.
Yep.
That's going to be coming out soon. And they, as you can see here, they mount on the back of a truck or a boat a machine gun.
Exactly.
And that machine gun is attached to a system that is AI that can detect and engage targets, mostly
drones right.
in the air, shoot them out of the sky with its AI tracking system.
Yeah. And finally, Icon. They are an Icon in Austin, Texas. They make 3D printing homes.
Yes.
They've raised a ton of money here. They do great work. And we've never interviewed them yet, but another Austin-based.
Sometime soon. And right, Mueller, where
where I live. Well,
where you hang out sometimes.
I hang out a lot in Mueller, Texas.
Is they just started putting the first homes in Mueller that are 3D printed from Icon.
Yeah, it's
Pretty
insane.
sweet.
And then the last company that we're going to highlight today is Demo Day. Demo Day, based here in Austin, Texas. Venture-backed
startup media company making the best content in the VC and tech game. Maybe the fifth best.
Yes.
Maybe we're making the fifth best, and soon we could be the fourth best.
Yes, exactly. So what does Austin not need? Austin doesn't need more VCs. We have 8 VC. We have Silverton. We have Sapphire. We have Antler. We have a lot of the capital being raised here right now.
Right.
But what we really need is Utimco, the biggest endowment in the United States. And this is, from sources familiar with the matter.
Okay.
I don't think they invest in any Austin-based VC firms.
Really?
As far as I know. From sources
Utemco is not investing with Austin-based. Do they invest in other Texas I
don't think they invest in Texas VC firms. They invest in big VC firms like Union Square Ventures, Sequoia Capital, and so it's New York ones and SF. And so
Jackson, how much money does Utemco have?
it's somewhere between $60 and $80 billion from what I've seen online.
And where are they typically spending that money? So you're saying in New York, SF firms.
I think they also go globally with some of the money, but it's also not just in venture capital. It's a bunch of different asset classes and hedge funds and other forms of investing.
Right.
Not necessarily just VC. It's a small pool, but
what you'd like Utemco to do.
I would love Utemco to invest more in the Austin startup
ecosystem.
Maybe I'm wrong, and they do that, and they do it behind closed doors, and I just don't know about it. And so, if I'm wrong, let me know I'm wrong. But from what I've seen, what I've heard, they don't do a lot of investing in Austin-based VC firms that invest in Austin-based.
Have they seen the
startups.
data? We're about to be fourth.
We are going to be fourth and then eventually third. And we have an incredible university here. And you know what we really, really need outside of outside of just, you know, more money being poured in, we need a space like El Segundo. We need something in Austin, Texas where...
Did you make this graphic?
No, so you can see from the bottom the source, image source of the information.
Okay.
I wish I made this graphic. But we need something where startup founders, especially in hardware, hard tech, can gather and build together, because I feel like there's a lack of that in Austin, Texas. I think a lot of people who build are spread out. There's a lot of room to build in Austin, but there's not like a centralized location where founders from other parts of the country can come and say like, hey, I want to build here, because there's a bunch of other founders who are building similar startups that I am.
Right.
I want to build next to somebody. And so I think we need to have money poured into almost recreating what El Segundo has created. And so that's my opinion on that. Do you have thoughts on that?
I think it sounds great. Yeah. I mean, the best way to create a great, like, healthy startup ecosystem is to bring in a bunch of talent to have the kinds of great startups.
You got to attract the talent first.
You look like a company like Oracle. Okay, their HQ is here in Austin. That's like great for the startup ecosystem, because not only is that going to attract a bunch of top talent from around the country, around the world to come here, move to Austin, work for Oracle. Well, then those people, you know, they worked for the job 2 years, 3 years. They're like, I got this itch to start my own thing. I've been thinking about this startup since I was in college. I've been thinking about this like idea that I know would change the world, but I just haven't had the capital, the personal like financial position. I can't just go out and do this on my own. Now you get some Oracle money. 2 years of Oracle money.
And not even just Oracle money. You have, you know, Google has a giant office here. Meta, Nvidia, AMD. These large tech companies have massive locations and offices here.
Yes.
They have the same idea.
That's kind of how, as far as I understand it. I mean, I think if you want to comment below other things for how you attract the best talent. But I think that's like the most fundamental part of a great startup ecosystem is the best talent.
Exactly.
And Austin can attract that, because not only is this a place where it has those great companies, but it's also a nice place to live. You know, it's beautiful weather. It's a little hot, sure.
Yes.
But like we've got these natural springs and lakes. The people here, it's friendly. The Southern hospitality.
Food's pretty good.
Food's okay. Food's okay.
They have a top 10 public university. UT's tied 7th. I was looking at this morning. They have a top 15 MBA program with McCombs. And so, you know, the education's there. You need a really strong, like, university to drive a lot of that innovation. And, you know, and also have a great football team.
Great football. That's right. I mean, the culture here. It should be attractive, right?
Yes.
I mean, you look at the comedians that all moved here, right? You've got Joe Rogan and his whole crew of... I think that a lot of them, I've seen some videos and things recently that they all want to move back to wherever they came from.
Sure.
So Austin is, I'm not going to pretend like it's just the most magical place on earth and it's perfect. I think Tim Dillon moved already. I think there's some others who have like said, oh, I don't want to live here. So there are pros and cons, but this is absolutely, like, if you're thinking of moving from Boston to Austin, I think that's like...
It's a no-brainer.
A no-brainer, right?
If we haven't already convinced you and you want a little bit more piece of what Austin's like and how it'll fire you up from the insides, you got to watch this video.
Ryan Wingo.
McConaughey.
Arch. Mostly just Texas football.
That's really it. On the comments of the video, it's like, I love Dallas.
Well, yes. I hope we've made a compelling case.
Yes.
That Austin is not only next up for startups, but it's just next up in general.
Yeah. It's, if you think about it this way, it's like, what's the most important country in the world? It's the United States. What's the most important state in the United States? It's Texas.
I disagree with that.
You know, and what's the most important city in the most important state? It's the capital. It's Austin. So in a way,
Austin the most important place in
the world is Austin, Texas. So if you're looking to move there, email us. We're hiring.
Email us.
demoday@gmail.com.
All right.
If you like today's show, whether you're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, or X, leave us a like, comment, and a review. Throw us a 5-star rating. If you think we earned it, and as always, we'll see you here tomorrow morning at Venture Daily.